Talking to Zaid before the game, I had a chance to share with him my old football stories. He wasn't really listening. He had his headphones on, but I had a chance to talk to him a little bit about football and how it relates to basketball and how basketball gets you in shape for football. And but what a nice young man. He has only a junior, has a lot of prospects ahead of him already.
And boys' game is underway. Devin Thomas controls the tip. Tips it to Nick Seefeld. Central Dauphin Rams in the home white. Moving left to right on your screen. Shot outside, Ryan Beaver, no good. Thomas with a big rebound and loses the handle over the end line.
Well, and Ryan Beaver's a player to keep an eye on. This is a guy, second leading scorer for them.
Just under 10 a game.
Can hit that three-point shot. He comes out firing right away on a setup play for him at top of the key.
Anthony Wright. Tony McGraw.
Well, you got
Todd talked about him earlier. Jumper from the outside, no good. Ball tipped. Rams looking to run. He tried to save it over the end line, no good. Out of bounds. Panthers ball.
And we're talking about football. You have one of the most talented players in the state in number 11, Eric Scott. He's going to play some major college football for somebody, if not quarterback, probably every other position on the field. And so this is his chance to exact a little revenge from the football season tonight. So look for him to have a big game.
Reggie Dudley, no good. Devin Thomas, rebound, starts the break and finishes, and they're going to call a technical foul on that as he hangs on the rim. Just missed the alley-oop.
Yeah, watch this.
One more time.
I think what you're seeing here is hanging a little too long. You're allowed to hang in high school basketball to protect yourself, but I think referee Brent Lawson there decided that was just a little too long, and he might have got that one right, but I don't blame the big guy because falling on that hip that's a long way down.
And Dudley goes to the line to shoot the technical and throws up an air ball.
Our referees
and misses the second.
Our referees for tonight are Brent Lawson, James Morey, and Brian Procker. This is our second stint with James Morey, as he was with us over Mechanicsburg Trinity last week, actually before Christmas.
So we're still scoreless. Just over a minute in. Already a lot of excitement. Tony McGraw dishes to the corner. Cowan hits the jumper. First bucket of the game goes to the Panthers. They take a 2-0 lead.
John, one of the first games we done on High School Sports Live was CDEast, CDEast, when Eddie Cowan was a leader in a win against CD at CDEast the first season. And as a freshman, we saw him grow up before our eyes, going up against a Division I guard, Desi Thomas. Played a tremendous game. And he starts off as a junior leading this team, that first basket.
Long shot outside by Brian Laird, no good. Panthers rebound. Dudley, big game last night in a close loss to Cedar Cliff. Taking it to the hoop, Cowan. Dumps outside, Aris Scott hits the three-pointer.
Talking to Coach Crozier before the game, just the concern is that East is knocking. East is knocking on that door of upsetting a big team, and they're scrappy enough and athletic enough, and they're good enough basketball players to win a game like this.
Pass inside to Zaid Esau, takes it to the hoop, gets the bucket and the foul. Here it is one more time. Nice entry pass. Gets the little swipe.
Yeah, Brian Laird.
Dudley on the foul.
Brian Laird laid that out like a quarterback making a pass to Zaid Esau, and he caught that for the touchdown.
Zaid makes the basket, so it's a 2-point game, 5-3, favor the Panthers. Pass underneath, Scott, off the rim, no good, tips it, plays it again, tips it again, gets it back, no. Rams looking to run. Laird, jumper, no good, over the end line. Saved by the Panthers. Push the ball up the floor. Pass inside, gets tipped away, retaken. by Anthony Wright, no good. Back come the Rams.
And what a talent Anthony Wright is. Number 4, only a sophomore. One of the top sophomores in the area. A new addition to East this year, coming from Steel High. What a talent for East.
Lob inside to Thomas. Gets it down low, spins off the rim, no good, but gets a foul.
You know, it was a year ago that we did the game here, and you look at Devin Thomas's arms, and you can tell he's been lifting some weights from last year. There's just a difference in this build, and that's the kind of frame you're going to need to have playing in the ACC against the big boys. Wake Forest has a big recruiting class coming in, and he's part of that big recruiting class. He's going to have a great opportunity to possibly get some playing time right away.
Misses 2 from the line. So the CD girls were having a tough night shooting, and the boys picked right up. Hoop there for the Panthers as they stretch the lead now to 7-3. Taking it strong to the hoop, and they're going to call a foul. Strong on the drive was Brian Laird. Here's that drive one more time. Esau to Laird, puts it up, tries to go up underneath, got hacked. Makes the first. And the second. 2-point game. East leads 7-5.
This is right where CDEast wants it. You got Nick Seafeld face guarding.
Offensive foul called that time on Reggie Dudley.
Well, and
Laird drew the foul.
Reggie Dudley's 25 points last night is a concern for CD, and that's why you have Nick Seafeld face guarding him, and he's going to try to force some offense there.
4 minutes in, and Dudley already picked up his second foul. Let's see if he stays in or if they're going to have to sit him.
I don't
see. Rams working the perimeter, inside to Thomas, tipped away. Panthers looking to run. Dudley loses the handle, and they're going to say Panther ball. Let's go to Todd for a quick chat. Todd?
Gentlemen, this is what I love about high school sports live. You never know who you're going to see. Standing beside me is no stranger to rivalries. For Chapman, as you know, state champion football coach Bishop Devitt at high school, now at Central Dauphin, just 1-1. Coach, big rivalry tonight. Talk a little bit about it.
It sure is. CD and CDEast in all sports has been a tremendous rivalry for years, and basketball's no different. We played them twice in football. The intensity for the first matchup, CDEast was 4-0. Coach Chomp's back in action there, and it was just great to see the pregame intensity for both squads, and it's just a natural in-district rivalry.
Coach, one thing here, because you now are wearing the green and white, what will CD have to do to be successful tonight?
Well, without a doubt, their big guy, he can't be hanging on the rim again. We're going to Sam Bowie, 2 techs, and you're out. But CD's just got to work the ball, and Zaid's back playing good football, played good football, and now he's back playing basketball. He looks more 100% now on the basketball court. The big guy, Thomas, does a great job. The guards got to do a good job of handling East quickness because they have some good athletes on the court as well.
Gentlemen, no stranger to big rivalries for Chapman.
And I think the difference, John and Todd, in this game is the CDEast boys are making shots. And they're giving themselves a shooter's chance here, and if they can control tempo and make some just good defensive plays like that, this could be a good opportunity for them to stay in this game and possibly compete to win this game.
They lead at 10-5. Another good defensive play. That time by Eddie Cowan, but the loose ball underneath and a foul called. Hear that one is one more time. There's the reach in. Foul is on Aris Scott, his second. Esau inside, he gets fouled. So the foul starting to mount for the visiting Panthers. That's the 6th already in the first half. There's the reach in right there. on Anthony Wright. That foul was called. His first, team's 6th. Just one so far on the Rams. Esau at the line makes the first. He'll shoot one more.
Little exchange between Zayd Esau and Eddie Cowan. Apparently friends, having some words together, and that just signifies what we talked about in the girls' game. How a lot of these kids know each other. They not only play AAU ball together, but some of these kids probably played in Holy Name together, CDABA together. So it's a different dynamic when you see CDs play each other. Redland, Cedar Grove. These kids just are in each other's backyard all the time.
Panthers inbound along the baseline. Eris Scott, jumper far corner, no good. Loose ball tipped. Anthony Wright dumps it back out.
Boy,
Panthers reset the offense.
Boy, Still High could use him right now.
A lot of teams could use him right now.
The size, yeah, of Anthony Wright.
Eris Scott, tough move up off of the glass and good.
Well, Eris Scott has this is his way to settle a score here if he can keep scoring and keep his team in it and get a victory for East here.
Esau pass down inside, gets it back. Thomas, jumper, foul line, good. Smooth touch by Mr. Thomas. It's 12-9, under 2 minutes.
And East has done a good job of denying the entry to the post, so Devin Thomas goes right out to the foul line and makes him pay right there. That's a good sign if he can get that going in this game.
Drive to the hoop, goes in. Eddie Cowan with the nice move down the lane, gets the basket, count it, and the foul.
Eddie has a nice point guard presence. He's real steady, and I mean, it's like he knew this ball was going in. He's just a real smooth player.
Nice release, goes up and in. So he goes to the line. Foul shot to complete the three-point play, and does. 15-9. Favor of the visiting Panthers. Coach Marty Hassenfuss has to be happy with his start for his team tonight.
Well, and that's something that we need to talk about is Coach Hassenfuss, successful at Eastern York for 18 years, took Central Dauphin Rams further than any coach has ever taken them in the history of the Central Dauphin School District to a state semifinal. I was fortunate to be a part of his coaching staff and got to know him back then. But he knows how to prepare ball players. He knows how to prepare teams, and he certainly fights on that sideline every play, fights for his players.
Pass inside off the inbound went to Devin Thomas, who missed, got fouled on the rebound. So he goes to the line, misses that one. And he will shoot a second. 1:15 to go. East leads CD 15-9. Thomas misses the second. Panthers up by 6 and with the ball. Anthony Wright backs up, jumper, good. He's on the line, two-pointer. 17-9, favor of East. And you can feel the momentum starting to build here a little bit for the Panthers. They're getting some confidence. Baseline jumper, Thomas, tough rebound, no good, gets it back up and in.
Now wait, and that's what Devin Thomas needs to do. If he's struggling getting the ball and opportunities, just use your 6'8" frame and get those rebound putbacks, and he's going to have plenty of those in this game.
25 seconds to go. East going to hold for the last shot. It's Anthony Wright standing there with the ball. Daring the big guy to come out. Yeah, Devin has no part of that. We're under 10 seconds. McGraw, jumper, no good. Rebound, loose ball, and that's going to do it for the first quarter. Fast-paced first quarter. CDEast leads Central Dauphin 17-11. Back with more high school basketball live coming up next on ABC 27.
Join Charlie Fortney as he pitches back and forth with Dr. Tim Ackerman of Arlington Orthopedics on the subject of shoulder injuries. First off, Dr. Ackerman describes his experiences with the Philadelphia Eagles and Super Bowl 39. Dr. Ackerman tells us that shoulder injuries, dislocations, labral tears, rotator cuff issues are all too common. He explains the specific training he underwent on shoulder scope surgery and how shoulder surgery has gotten easier for patients. For the full interview, PASportsLiveTV.com. Select Physical Therapy College Spotlight. Adriana Berry is a former Lady Panther stepping up at Lock Haven University. While helping to lead her CDEast team to district and state playoffs in 2010, she averaged over 13 points per game and was named to the 2010 Big 15 team. Fellow Panther teammate Katie Lytle rocketed into her sophomore season at Swarthmore College, having racked up a head-turning 16 points per game. Adriana and Katie are tonight's Select Physical Therapy College Spotlight. Knoll Insurance, located at 704 Bridge Street in New Cumberland. They offer property, casualty, auto, homeowners, health, and life insurance. Knoll Insurance also offers notary services. Call Knoll Insurance today at 774-8128.
Borman & Babb Certified Public Accountants is a full-service accounting, tax, and consulting firm with over 17 years' experience serving the central Pennsylvania region. From taxes to payroll, from corporate accounting to business consulting, let Borman & Babb help you achieve your financial success.
Back at Central Dauphin High School, getting ready to start the second quarter. CDEast leads Central Dauphin 17-11. Pass inside to Thomas, tipped away by Cowan. And the crowd's starting to get into this one. And speaking of getting into the crowd is our own Todd McCall. Todd?
Gentlemen, I'm here with the Ram crowd, and this is one of my favorite things to do with High School Sports Live. Get right in the middle of the mix. Right now, this crowd's getting behind the Rams a little bit because they know they need it. They need the momentum. There's a lot of pride over here right now. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Todd. Anthony Wright of East on the drive. Reach-in foul.
Yeah, Todd, there's several football players in that crowd, it looks like.
Yeah, I didn't have enough room. You can tell, man. They've been on those weights, lifting those weights, man, Charlie.
Anthony Wright jumper baseline, foul line, no good. Foul called. Charlie, we may have to start talking about some foul trouble here. I mean, the Panthers already have 7 fouls, and they're in the bonus already.
Yeah, and that, we got 7 minutes and 34 seconds to go. That's going to force CD to play a little more hands-off. But there's 5 fouls on the other end. CD's almost in the bonus as well. So this is just an aggressive game overall.
Anthony Wright makes 1 of 2 from the line. So the Panther lead is 7. It's 18-11. 30 seconds in to tonight's second quarter.
Charlie and John, one of the things that I personally didn't expect was such a balanced scoring on the east side. But when you know Coach Hassenfass, I remember playing him at Eastern York, guys who didn't even appear on the scouting report came to play against us in Susquehanna Township.
Devin Thomas, strong move to the hoop, can't get it in. But that was Tony McGraw with a tough rebound. Long shot outside, in and out by Cowan. Deep rebound. Rams.
Yeah, and CD is 7-0. Coach Crozier, this is his finest hour here at CD. He's prepared these kids well. He's using 9-10 guys to get this done, and naturally they're due for a little bump in the road here to have to struggle to win a game here. But I'll tell you, 6 turnovers for CD. Coach Crozier's not happy with that right now. He's got that shirt he's playing with back and forth. It just shows that he's trying to will his team back into this.
When a coach has to tuck his shirt back in, he's into the game.
Yeah, well, it's like Tarkanian, years ago. I know the kids at home don't know what I'm talking about, but some of the coaches do. He had that towel he would suck on.
Right. Turnover. Rams, long jumper outside is good by Isaac Rossum.
Wow, it must be nice. You come off the bench, you have ice in your veins. That could be the spark the Rams need right now.
Charlie, John, I like the switch. Coach Crozier went to the 2-3 zone, picked up a nice quick turnover, came down a 3 on the other end, and those are the kind of the offsetting plays that Rams need to get back in the ball game.
Yeah, that's a good point, Todd.
Anthony Wright with a long three-pointer was in and out.
Nick Laird getting a quick sideline break there. Every point guard should push the ball, not waste their dribble, and just get rid of it.
Laird pull-up jumper. He buries it.
Well, Ryan
Central Dauphin starting to get back into this a little.
Yeah, Ryan Beaver and Nick Laird did a little Friendship Center two-man game. I see these guys doing this at the local Friendship Center, and they're turning. That came in handy here in that exchange.
Tony McGraw tries the baseline, takes it inside, knocked away, ball loose, and they're going to call a tie-up underneath. Possession's going to stay at this end. Harris Scott checks back in for East, giving Anthony Wright a blow on the bench.
And Devin Thomas getting subbed out for Zaid Esau to get him a break.
On the inbounds, they're going to call a foul. Brian Laird picks up the foul, team 6th. So now both teams will be in the bonus for the rest of the first half.
It's good to see Coach Hossif, who's back on the sidelines. He's taking a little break here.
Two-point game, 18-16.
One thing about Marty Hossifus, he does a great job of preparing his teams, great job of organizing his teams, his practices. You know, I've benefited from being around him in the game. Oh, there's a charge. I mean, the girls and boys team at CDEast must practice charges together, because we saw several of those in the Lady Panthers game.
Third foul already.
But the Rams have done, I mean, you know, they've weathered the storm here. I mean, it's still 18-16, and they haven't really gotten it going or found their rhythm, and they're still at home. They still have plenty of time for a surge, a run. East just has to figure out a way to keep those runs and respond to those runs when they do come.
Isaac Rossum with his third foul for Central Dauphin. At one point, team fouls were 6-1, now tied up at 7 apiece. Pass inside, nice move, finally gets the rim for East. Is Nate King gets the roll.
That hung on the rim forever, I'll tell you.
Looked like slow motion. 4-point game, 4.5 to go. Seefeld backs it out. Thought about it. Cross court. Long jumper Beaver, no good. Esau with the rebound. They're going to call him pushing off. And that's going to bring the big guy back in, as Devin Thomas checks back in. But since both teams are in the bonus, we're going to be shooting some foul shots.
Charlie, you see Esau picking up the foul. From a coaching point, one of the things you might tell him is, you know, don't pick up the silly ones, but this is a football player in a rivalry game. Sometimes you don't mind him getting that kind of foul. He might get away with that one, put it back in.
Well, you know, he saw Harris Scott and he figured, hey, it was time to tackle him. Yeah, but I tell you what, these guys are two of the best looking athletes that I've seen in a while. They are put together from top to bottom, upper body, they got the speed. It makes sense that they guard each other out here.
Scott missed the foul shot. Thomas with the big rebound. Good defensive play by Tony McGraw on the steal and the behind the back dribble. Still with it, drives in, kicks it back out.
You know what I've been impressed with tonight with East is just their anticipation skills on defense. We've seen that more than once, where they've anticipated a pass and made a steal. And there's senior Nick
Seefeld with the long three. 1-point game now, it's 20-19. Panthers don't mind taking the ball down low inside, challenging Thomas. He hasn't really gotten to any of them yet, but he's altered their shots. That last time down was a prime example of that. Foul, though, is on Austin Mertz of the Rams, his first.
Nick, do that again, Nick.
Team's 9th. So the next foul will put the Panthers in the double bonus for the rest of the first half. Cowan hits the first.
That was a big three for CD by Nick Seefeld.
Can't run no more. I can shoot it.
It's come during a time when they haven't been able to get a lot going from outside, and this may be able to spark them. But the one thing that I will say about East is that they're doing a very good job of keeping the tempo where they want it.
We have a timeout on the floor. CDEast leads by 3. Back with more on ABC 27.
There's something to be said for a company that has survived the Great Depression, weathered a handful of recessions, and emerged from today's challenging marketplace stronger than ever. And it's worth noting that success has come while keeping its headquarters and decision-making local for more than 80 years. Perhaps growing deeper roots to ensure strength and stability is an idea whose time has come. We figured that out 8 decades ago. Penn National Insurance.
Hello, can I help you? Oh, no need to worry, Mrs. Smith. My grandfather is Russ Failer himself, and he has been in business for over 30 years. At Russ's Auto and Trailer Sales, we have it all. We specialize in selling a complete line of trailers, a variety of used cars, and campers. Our service department can do it all. And we even have a nice guy named Justin who answers the phone.
Russ's Auto and Trailer Sales.
And what do we tell him, Maddie?
Nobody fusses at Russ's. I'm the real boss.
We invite you to join us on Facebook. Just like us on High School Facebook Live page for updates on the broadcast, video clips, and more. High School Sports Live on Facebook. And be sure to check out our website, pasportslivetv.com. You can see photos, video clips, games, match schedules, and more. Just log on to pasportslivetv.com. Coming up, stay with us for the Arlington Orthopedic Halftime Shootout. That's coming up at halftime. And then also, stay with us for the United Concordia Dental Halftime Report. Boy, a lot of stuff going on here tonight, Charlie.
Yeah,
we got
there
a
is.
3-point game.
Well, and we just had an attempt at an alley-oop to ZD. So I saw that work at the Giant Center last year. So no reason to think it wouldn't here. But again, CD's well prepared for that particular move. We'll stay right here and talk about this. You know, credit East for being very prepared in this contest. You know, came out of a big game last night.
Tough game last night with Cedar Cliff.
Cedar Cliff, man, is athletic as you're going to get, Cedar Cliff. So that's turning out to be a pretty good win for Cedar Cliff, the way East is playing here tonight. And this team here is really put together well. And, you know, Coach Crozier's trying everything he can to try to find some sort of rhythm on offense for the Rams.
How was playing in a tight game like that last night going to affect them coming back right away tonight when Central Dauphin, you know, hasn't played for a couple of days?
Well, and that may be favoring East a little bit because they just got off playing a feisty game, and that could weigh in their favor, especially with the Christmas break, getting you a little bit rusty, you know.
Charlie, I want to add a point at just talking about the legs. When you play games back-to-back, your legs are tired. But one thing I see East doing very well is attacking the glass inside. John, you said it. But I think playing Cedar Cliff with some of those twin towers they had, it's helped tonight's game.
Thomas got to that one, and he starts the fast break himself. Finally dishes it off, gets it back, takes it in. They're going to call a blocking foul underneath.
Well, that's a good call, and this is Devin Thomas came back in this time around. You can just see a determination on his face that he wants to be a part of the party here. He wants to get in and do something here, try to make something happen. You just hope, you hope in the process he doesn't pick up a foul, but that one went in his favor, being aggressive going to the hole.
Foul on Nate King. That's his second, team's 8th. Thomas makes the first foul shot.
You know, we haven't talked about it yet, but we'll definitely talk about it when we get Mike Bullock on the set here. But, you know, Devin Thomas, one of several 6'7", 6'8", 6'9" bigs in the area, and we're getting ready to graduate. It's going to be a sad day when we see the last game of the 2011-2012 season, because it's going to be a sad day in Mid-Penn basketball history to see all these guys go off to college. We've enjoyed this for the last couple years. I know I have.
Nice move inside by Dudley that time to stretch the Panther lead back up to 4. 24-20 as we approach the 2-minute mark.
You're talking Mike Zingari from Redland. You're talking Matt Banis, Matt Akey. Matt Banis from Hershey's having an MVP-type season with an MVP-type record for Hershey. Akey from East Pennsboro. Colton Lewis emerging as a quality big at Cedar Cliff. And I know I'm missing some, but we'll talk about this later in the broadcast as well.
Tough move underneath by Seafeld, but Zaid Esau is there for the follow. So we're back down to 2 points. Right back the other end. Scott, no good. Thomas with the rebound over the top. Comes back, but gives it right back away to the Panthers. Minute 30 to go. 2-point game.
Charlie, right away, difference I see tonight in both of these teams. Both coaches preaching execution. Take a look at getting the last shot. You know this is a big game. Every possession is crucial.
So we approach the 1-minute mark. Turnover. Rams take it to the hoop. Beaver gets the foul and the basket.
Well, and this is a good spot for CD at home to have a chance to go up by 1 when they've been down all game. Taking CDEast's best shot at this point and then have a chance to go up 1.
Here's one more. There it is, Beaver up and in. Go to the line with a chance to give the Rams their first lead of the night.
Coach Hassenfuss, I don't know, we don't have a camera shot on him, but he's like, that's 2 in a row there, Todd, that have been close charges. But I think the calls are right, I really do. But I think he has a right to fight for the next call because they are close ones, and you can bet these officials are going to be very sensitive to get those close ones right in a situation like that because they want to be fair as well. And I do think they made the right call on those.
Right. Long jumper outside, no good. Rams with the rebound. So for the first time, they come down the floor with the lead. It's 25-24 as we hit the 45-second mark. Esau. Tightly guarded by Nate King.
Smart move by Coach Crozier not to end having Devin Thomas pick up that 3rd foul. You don't want him going into the second half with a 3rd foul.
Seafeld drives left hand, no good. Ball tipped around. Anthony Wright rebound. Panthers running. King. Nice move up and underneath, has it knocked away. Panthers keep possession.
Oh, nice hands by Brian Laird there to give his defense a chance to set up.
Loose ball picked up by the Rams. As we hit 10 seconds, let's play for the last shot. Stolen. Taking it to the hoop was Tony McGraw with the pickpocket at center court. Takes it in, gets fouled with 2 seconds left. Here's the replay on that one again. Seafeld has his pocket picked. McGraw takes it in and gets hacked. So he has a chance to at least tie it.
Todd,
or maybe put his team back on top.
Todd, you're right on that action down there. You almost got fouled yourself there under the basket.
Mazai comes running down, I get out of the way. There's no way I would take a charge from that guy. But Charlie, you talked about possessions. How crucial is every single possession? The hustle at this point right now is a championship caliber ball game right now.
Yeah, I agree.
McGraw on the first one, got the nice roll on the rim, so we're tied at 25. Tony McGraw, chance to give the Panthers the lead, heading into the locker room. Short on that one, and we are going to be all even, just like we started.
Well, we should ask Devin Thomas to stay for the halftime shootout there.
He almost made that one.
That was 75 feet on the line.
So 2 entertaining quarters in the books, and as I said, we are right back even where we started. We are tied at 25 all. And with the coach's interview, let's go to Todd McCall. Todd?
Coach Crozer, we talked about execution. I felt when your team executed in the second quarter, down on this other end, things changed a little bit. Talk about what you're going to tell them here at half.
Yeah, we're very good. We were flat. We didn't come out with any energy at all, kind of taking for granted where we're at. Turn the ball over way too many times in transition. We got to slow down, execute in the half court, defend, and rebound.
Thank you, Coach Crozer. We'll let you get back there. You heard it. Execute, slow down, not turn over the ball. Back to you guys at the bench.
Thanks, Todd. Again, we're tied at 25. Central Dauphin and CDEast coming up now at halftime. Stay tuned for the Arlington Orthopedic halftime shootout. Then after that, the United Concordia Dental halftime report coming up here on High School Basketball Live on ABC 27.
Groff Tractor and Equipment is PA's full-line equipment dealer, representing Case Construction along with other leading manufacturers. Groff Tractor has built a 53-year reputation in serving the total sales, rentals, parts, and service needs of its customers. Groff Tractor paves the way for your project from start to finish, offering the latest parts and equipment from Case Construction and more. Groff also offers 24/7 job site support. Groff Tractor and Equipment is your #1 source for everything under construction. All-state freshman Malia Tate DeFreitas tore her ACL in a heated state playoff, and her dreams seemed shattered.
Tried to come back in and it wasn't working out. I thought that my basketball career was over.
Getting an assist from the doctors at Arlington Orthopedic, Malia is ready to attack the hoop this season.
It feels good when I jump and cut and stuff. It feels normal, and the brace really helps me.
To go from tears to a smile, it was just a beautiful thing.
You don't think about physical therapy until you need it. When an injury occurs, think Select Physical Therapy. Select leads the way in providing patients with clinical expertise using the latest medical research and techniques. Our team provides physical and hand therapy, pre- and post-surgery, work injury rehabilitation, and much more. With several locations in the Harrisburg area, let Select return you to activity at home, work, or play. Select Physical Therapy. Recovery starts here.
Back here at Central Dauphin High School, John Reppes along with Charlie Fortney getting ready for our Arlington Orthopedic halftime shootout. Charlie, how many are we going to make tonight?
Well, I see some good shooters there, so we're going to start.
Okay, here we go, folks.
We're going to start with Nate Weaver shooting on behalf of Arlington Orthopedics. A three-point shot. Give it a go, Nate. Okay, that was a close one. Shooting on behalf of Select Physical Therapy is Aaron Gress.
These guys have nice form.
Okay, I think Aaron's sister would have had a shot at that. Cleveland brothers, Jordan Hatcher. Okay, we're getting some close ones here. Representing Penn National is 9th grader Sean Burke. Okay. Okay, Sean, get ready to stand in line. And Ryan Huffman himself representing Huffman Ford. Oh, okay.
2 in a row for the first time this year.
That's the first time we've had 2 in a row this year. All right, shooting, representing Dauphin County Commissioners is Nick Notestein. Okay, we're calling off here. Representing United Concordia is Dylan Spiegel. Okay. And Enders Insurance is Sam Gress. I'm putting money on this one. Okay, Sam. All right, and our last shooter is representing Pizza Hut, Lexia Thomas. Okay. All right, let's give all of our participants a round of applause, but don't feel bad for them because they're getting ready to eat as much pizza as they can handle.
Well, that does it for our Arlington Orthopedic halftime shootout. We had 2 winners tonight. We didn't have any last night at the Steel High Harrisburg game, but we had 2 winners tonight. So congratulations to them. We had a great first half of action in the boys game. We're tied at 25, and if you're just joining us, missed a pretty good girls game as Central Dauphin defeated CDEast in our opener tonight by a score of 36-30. So we'll be back with the United Concordia Dental halftime report. That's coming up next on ABC 27.
The neurologist said you will lose the ability to swallow, to breathe. You will die. I asked the neurologist, why? If we could transplant hearts, couldn't we also replace damaged motor neurons?
Jennifer devoted the last 6 years of her life to wiping out ALS. Project ALS has created a new paradigm for disease research.
We know the goal. We want to get a cure for ALS.
Got old electronics, such as a TV or computer to recycle? We've got your answer at the Dauphin County Recycling Center.
E-cycling is quick, easy, and free for all county residents.
You can also recycle old major appliances and other items safely at our center.
Have questions? Call our helpful staff at the Recycling Center or check our website for more information.
Recycling is now more convenient than ever.
Join us in going green to protect our environment.
Keep our earth clean and green. Wipe out waste and recycle.
United Concordia Dental has been insuring Central Pennsylvania for over 40 years. Whether you're looking for group, family, or individual coverage, United Concordia has the right plan to fit your specific needs. United Concordia also prides itself on its commitment to the community through its efforts to arrange free dental services for the underserved and its charitable contributions throughout the area. United Concordia not only takes care of your smile, we give you something to smile about.
There's something to be said for a company that has survived the Great Depression, weathered a handful of recessions, and emerged from today's challenging marketplace stronger than ever. And it's worth noting that success has come while keeping its headquarters and decision-making local for more than 80 years. Perhaps growing deeper roots to ensure strength and stability is an idea whose time has come. We figured that out 8 decades ago. Penn National Insurance.
Back at courtside at Central Dauphin, all tied up. CDEast and Central Dauphin 25 all. This is the United Concordia Dental halftime report. And gentlemen, just about anything we could ask for in the first half, we pretty much had.
Yeah, 25-25, you can't beat that. You know, CD, even though it's tied, it's almost like East is winning because of the tempo and the fact that this is a tied ball game at this point. Second half game plan, look for that ball to get stuffed down to Devin Thomas over and over and over again until it produces the necessary result. And the key is him staying out of foul trouble too. But hats off to East to give us a great game right now.
You're kind of pointing out, you're kind of doing the Tony Saragusa. You're standing underneath the crossbar watching the action from the baseline. You said you like the way that the Panthers are attacking the glass.
Right, John, you said it. And what they had to do to come in tonight was get on the glass. And Dudley and company has really attacked, and they have not backed down. There has not been intimidation. But in this league, you can't be intimidated, Charlie. That's the way it is night in, night out in the Commonwealth.
Yeah. Okay, let's take a look at some of the statistics from the opening half. See field goal shooting about the same.
And much like the girls' game, it's almost like identical there. But I think we're seeing a difference at the three-point line, or I mean the three-point line, 5 threes.
And the foul shooting, 4 misses.
Attempted 2 for 5, 2 for 7. Just a little difference there. Yep, foul shooting. John, you pointed that out.
And the Rams a little bit sloppier with the ball. So that's going to wrap it up for the United Concordia Dental halftime report. Stay tuned. First half was entertaining. Second half should be just the same. And we'll be back with that with you right here at Central Dauphin High School coming up next on ABC 27.
Join Charlie Fortney as he pitches back and forth with Dr. Tim Ackerman of Arlington Orthopedics on the subject of shoulder injuries. First off, Dr. Ackerman describes his experiences with the Philadelphia Eagles and Super Bowl 39. Dr. Ackerman tells us that shoulder injuries, dislocations, labral tears, rotator cuff issues are all too common. He explains the specific training he underwent on shoulder scope surgery and how shoulder surgery has gotten easier for patients. For the full interview, PASportsLiveTV.com.
Caught up on everybody.
Okay, we're back ready for the start of tonight's third quarter. We are tied at 25. Central Dauphin, CDEast. The winner ties Harrisburg for first place Mid-Penn Commonwealth Division standings, and we are underway. Rams in the home white, moving right to left in tonight's second half. Starting five back on the floor for both teams. Pass intended for Thomas inside, picked off by Tony McGraw.
Well, and that entry pass has to get a little higher because, you know, Devin Thomas, you know, maybe 6'8", 6'9", but his wingspan's a lot bigger than that, so you got to throw that ball up to the outside hand so he has a chance.
Got to the hoop, did everything but put it down. Thomas with the rebound, still with it, finally dishes it off. Seefeld thought about it, tried to go inside to Thomas, and it's McGraw again with a steal.
We've seen Tony McGraw do that more than once tonight.
And he has his pocket pick. Seefeld back the other way. Nice move, takes it to the hoop and gets it. Nice move by Nick Seefeld. Gives the Rams a 2-point lead, 27-25. Cowan has the ball kicked over the end line. Panthers will keep possession. McGraw taking it to the hoop, lays it off the glass, too strong, no good, almost over the end line, and they're going to get a reach-in foul on Reggie Dudley. That could be a big one on Dudley. I think that's his third. Yes, it is, his third. Team's first in the second half. We had big numbers up there in the foul category for so long the first half. It's strange to look up there and see 1 and 0.
Go, Nick. Take it on.
I think the biggest thing that Coach Hassenfuss, the next step for East program is to find a way to win some of these games. They've been playing close. The door's been cracked open several times against some very good opponents. Nice entry pass. That's the high entry pass we talked about earlier, and that's exactly what you need to do. And that's what's going to happen at the college level. Those entry passes are going to come nice and high for the big guys.
Jumper from the corner, Eris Scott, a three-pointer, makes it a 1-point game. Rams did have their biggest lead at 4. It's now back down to 1.
Yeah, and
29-28.
And East has, again, like I said earlier, they got to find a way to win. And these kind of games, and that's part of growing a team up, and that's you see the bench at East. There's some camaraderie, there's some team chemistry, and you definitely see that they're a team that is going somewhere this year, and they're building for the future.
Thomas out far from the basket. Bounce pass inside to Esau, foul called. Foul on Dudley. That is his 4th. 5:42 to go, and Mr. Dudley's going to have to take a seat.
Not a lot of size on the court for East right now. Not a lot of, their tallest guy is 6'3" here, and that's Anthony Wright, and it's a thin sophomore 6'3".
And we have a reach-in foul on the Rams. So I talked about those big numbers in the foul category, and all of a sudden we're starting to see them mount again. Panthers inbound, down by 1. Central Dolphins turned it over 3 times already this half. They still have a 1-point lead. Cowan, jump stop. They're going to call traveling. So Panthers turn it back to CD.
Yeah, it's premature to talk about player of the game, but as you look at the difference makers for either team, it's kind of hard to single out one guy in particular, but a guy I am thinking about is the defense of Anthony McGraw. And the confidence of Eris Scott, knocking down a couple key three-point jump shots.
Wright has it rejected by Devin Thomas. Unfortunately, Ryan Beaver couldn't find the handle on the dribble, and the turnover goes back to the Panthers.
Charlie, we talked about back and forth of this game and how every possession, you remember from a player perspective, coaches talk so often, honor the possession. These couple turnovers right away is keeping this game gridlocked.
Yeah, it just seems like once CD's going to get a rhythm and build a lead, something happens, a decision, a walk, a pass.
Finger roll by McGraw, no good. Thomas clears the board.
You also get the feeling the East isn't really phased at anything. They're kind of pretty comfortable with their game plan no matter what happens here, no matter, you know, what CD does. They pretty much are in this for the whole 4 quarters.
Another turnover by the Rams. So East with a chance again to retake the lead. Seal Johnson inside, up and in off the glass, good. Over the outstretched hand of Devin Thomas. Tough shot.
I don't know if I've ever seen anything like that. It looked like that was the clearest block shot ever, and that ball just went to the ceiling and fell in high off the glass. That was a playground play there.
Foul out front on the Panthers. Here's that shot one more time.
Look at this at home. Wow. Over the top to Grandma's house and back down. through the woods.
We have a timeout. 3:58 to go. 1-point game. Stay tuned. More basketball coming your way on ABC 27.
There's something to be said for a company that has survived the Great Depression, weathered a handful of recessions, and emerged from today's challenging marketplace stronger than ever. And it's worth noting that success has come while keeping its headquarters and decision-making local for more than 80 years. Perhaps growing deeper roots to ensure strength and stability is an idea whose time has come. We figured that out 8 decades ago. Penn National Insurance.
Hello, can I help you? Oh, no need to worry, Mrs. Smith. My grandfather is Russ Failer himself, and he has been in business for over 30 years. At Russ's Auto and Trailer Sales, we have it all. We specialize in selling a complete line of trailers, a variety of used cars, and campers. Our service department can do it all. And we even have a nice guy named Justin who answers the phone.
Russ's Auto and Trailer Sales.
And what do we tell him, Maddie?
Nobody fusses at Russ's. I'm the real boss.
Back at Central Dauphin, the Rams lead the Panthers Panthers lead the Rams 30-29. And get your thoughts ready for our Hoffman Ford Player of the Game. You can log on to PASportsLiveTV.com and register your vote for Hoffman Ford Player of the Game in this one.
I'll tell you what, we said this in the first game with James Phillips. We're definitely going to need our friend Mike Bullock to help us figure this one out as he takes on the headsets with us in the 4th quarter, because you know, it's kind of hard to figure this out. But I will say that Eric Scott is standing out to me a little right now. Some of the big shots he's made. We'll have to look at the stats a little closer as the game goes on.
Kick out to Anthony Wright, long 3-pointer, no good. Tipped up and in. Eric Scott.
Wow.
Panthers up by 3, 32-29.
You get a rebound and a point at the same time when you do a tip-in.
Thomas takes it in, banks it up. Good.
Yeah, you're not going to stop that. You're just going to try to minimize it, and that's a good example right there.
Back and forth we go. Cowan trapped on the baseline. Reach in foul on CDEast. Let's go to Todd for a report on the baseline. Todd?
Gentlemen, I'm here with Jesse Rawls, and I've got to put a little tidbit in. Susquehanna State Champion 1991, principal at Central Dauphin East. And you know what, Coach Rawls, tonight, CDEast is playing a nice ball game basketball-wise.
Yeah, they're playing really good. They're playing tough. They're playing hard. So we're proud of them, what they're doing tonight.
One thing I want to talk about, one thing at High School Sports Live is we're starting to, preview wrestling matches. We got a big one tomorrow night with Cumberland Valley, Central Dauphin. What would you have done as a kid to get an opportunity to wrestle somebody on the mat on High School Sports Live?
Oh, I would love the opportunity to wrestle on TV, on the wrestling mat. But Jeff Swiger's the coach at CD, so I'm happy for him.
Okay. Guys, soft-spoken man, state champion, Michigan University, Jesse Rawls.
Thanks, Todd. Soft-spoken is certainly gentlemen I would not want to face on a wrestling match or on the basketball floor or anywhere else for that matter.
Yeah, tell Jesse, don't be afraid to stop by one of our broadcasts there and maybe put in a few words and help George Hartwick out over there and John Reppin.
Next broadcast tomorrow night. Central Dauphin, the Rams, traveling to Cumberland Valley to take on the Eagles.
Tell you what, CD doing a great job denying the inbounds, trying to step up the aggressiveness here to try to get some separation here. Nice steal by Devin Thomas and a foul on Eddie Cowan.
So the Rams struggling a bit at the offensive end, but picking it up a little bit at the defensive end. They'll inbound it. It's Austin Mertz in the backcourt.
Work on it, Nick. Work on it.
Nick Seefeld tries the baseline, has it shut off, and they're going to say he lost the handle. Another turnover for the Rams. Ball goes back to the Panthers. We approach the 2-minute mark of the third quarter. 1-point game. East leads CD 32-31. Long shot outside, Seal Johnson, no good. Gets it up and follows his own shot and scores.
You know, John, the 19 turnovers, Todd, John, 19 turnovers CD seems to be a big factor here. Credit East pressure, feisty defense.
Nice feed from Devin Thomas to Isaac Rossum. Backdoor cut. Makes it a 1-point game.
I played against a guy named Billy Owens, who was the #2 player in the country behind Alonzo Mourning senior year, and he used to do that with perfection. Kind of reminded me of that. He'd catch it up high, everybody claps, and he'd dump it to one of his teammates for a layup, and that seemed to be like a regular play for Carlisle Thunder and Hurt.
Seefeld misses. Panthers looking to run. Alley-oop, and they're going to say foul before the shot. Tried to get creative there. McGraw tried to set up Scott with the alley-oop. Here it is again. They're going to say the foul before the pass was made.
Boy, that would have brought the house down here. Wow.
He missed the shot anyway, so for the Panthers' perspective, it's a good thing the foul was called.
Charlie and John, one thing being down on the floor, and I just love it because the intensity, you can see every bit of it. How about Devin Thomas running the floor down on the break, pointing where the ball should go? The play before that gets the ball inside and looks for a cutter. The offense goes around big #2, and it sets up so many great things, but the intensity is picked up, Charlie.
Todd, what about the comparison to Billy Owens, catching it in the middle, dumping it back door? Isn't that what the top players do when people key on them, they find a way to make their teammates better and then also make it easier?
Charlie, that's exactly right. That's a coaching point. Great players make other players better, and you did a lot of that in your career. I know you're not going to say it.
I didn't get anybody drawing. I didn't get triple teams like these guys are.
Panthers running off the turnover to the hoop. Strong is Ariscotti. He's fouled. Now, correction, that's Seal Johnson.
Yeah, I'll tell you, Seal, watch him explode with his left hand for that layup. I mean, kids at home, work on your left hand. Because Seal Johnson, he's a righty, and he went up strong left. He had an explosion.
And he gets the kind bounce on the front of the rim.
Well, and he also has a soft touch.
Charlie, how many times you talk about free throws, John, Charlie, how important in a close game like this, they make such a difference. That soft touch on the rim, and there's a miss, just as I said, it probably jinxed him.
Under a minute to go, third quarter, 2-point game. East leads CD by 35-33. Thomas strong to the hoop, gets it in, and the foul.
Charlie, you want a Division I take? That is a Division I take to the glass with the extension, the varsity extension with the left arm.
Well, I think he wanted, Todd, I think Devin wanted to dunk the ball there, but he didn't. He got hacked on the arm there and was able to use his body and still get the M1. See if he can perfect the triple play right here.
So the basket knots us at 35. 40 seconds to go. Thomas goes to the line. with a chance to put the Rams back in front. Again, Thomas misses a foul shot. 35 all, 30 seconds left. Third quarter. Panthers holding for the last shot.
John, Charlie, this is clearly a coach, Hassan Foss coach team, because he's managing the game. That's why it's 35-35, taking last shots. Look how patient this East team is.
Well, and I tell you what, there's some real mature play from the guards from East.
Drive to the hoop, McGraw.
They're gonna
call
count
a foul.
They may count that.
Did he pin it against the backboard?
No, but I don't see the signal. So
I didn't see the goaltend call.
I think they're just gonna give him the foul
shot.
shots.
2 shots. Here it is one more time. Taking it strong to the glass. Take that, big boy.
That was borderline, but
1.7 left. Going to the line, Tony McGraw. Just flicks the bottom of the net. Way short on that. Misses the second, and that's going to do it for the third quarter. We were tied at 25 at halftime. After 3, we're tied at 35. We'll be back with fourth quarter action. ABC 27.
Get ready to start popping with Pizza Hut's Cheesy Bites Pizza. It's your favorite Pizza Hut pizza surrounded by 28 tasty cheese-filled bites. You won't be able to stop pulling them, dipping them, and popping them. And right now, a Cheesy Bites pizza with your favorite topping is just $11.99. Plus, add a 2-liter Pepsi and an order of breadsticks for just $5 more. The Cheesy Bites pizza deal won't last long, only $11.99 and only at your Pizza Hut.
You don't think about physical therapy until you need it. When an injury occurs, think Select Physical Therapy. Select leads the way in providing patients with clinical expertise using the latest medical research and techniques. Our team provides physical and hand therapy, pre- and post-surgery, work injury rehabilitation, and much more. With several locations in the Harrisburg area, let Select return you to activity at home, work, or play. Select Physical Therapy. Recovery starts here.
We are tied at 35 after 3 quarters. Fourth quarter getting ready to get started. Central Dauphin East. The winner ties Harrisburg for first place in Mid-Penn Commonwealth. Panthers with the ball to start the quarter. Long outside shot by Cowan, no good. Thomas with the rebound.
Well, we're
Feed
joined
inside to Devin Thomas, and we're going to have a foul call.
We're joined by our friend Mike Bullock from the Patriot News here. Mike, 35-35, what do you got here? What do you think?
Well, I've been impressed with East backcourt defense. They've really made it difficult for the CD guards to get into anything here, and actually taking passes right out of the air.
Yeah, we've seen that at least 3 times.
Yeah.
And Anthony McGraw seems to be the best at it, too. Mike, what's your thought on Devin's positioning and where he's getting the ball?
Big 3 by Ryan Beaver.
Wow. Well, I think you got to use. I heard you guys talking about this earlier, but the entry passes haven't been where he's the only guy who can get to it. And I mean, when you've got a 5 or 6 inch height advantage, use it.
Yeah. And if Ryan Beaver gets hot, he just hit that 3. This is that missing piece as well. CD gets this going. This could be their deciding factor here, but East is up on defensive pressure here. They're trying to shake it back up again.
Triple teamed inside. Devin Thomas kicks it back out. Smart move.
Well, Marty Hasselfuss has had some big men over his career as a coach, and he knows how to key on him because he's had to coach him. Speaking of the Huffman Ford Player of the Game, Mike, do you have any thoughts? I mean, come on, man, help me out. It's almost like the girls' game. There's just there's so many good contributions here.
Well, I agree with you. This is very similar to last. Well, actually, it isn't similar to anything that I've been involved with so far. But Thomas, has started to exert himself in the second half. On the east side of things, Eddie Cowan got off to a great start. McCraw's defense, C.L. Johnson with a big lift there in the third quarter off the bench. And then Harris has been pretty solid throughout the game here. And I'm waiting for him to do something here as well.
And Harris Scott's been doing he's had to man the bodying around the basket and just use his athleticism to help seduce Zayd, and so that's a stat that really isn't a point or whatever, just to have a body like his out there. But he's also putting some points up, so I'm liking Harris for East right now, and probably Thomas for CD is where I'm leaning. John, any thoughts from your end?
If I had to pick somebody right now, well, depending on how it turns out, if the Rams win that guy right there, Devin Thomas, and I think we have a technical. He made the tee. Technical foul.
Gentlemen, the technical foul is going to go against Devin Thomas because he thought that he was fouled after that play. And I'm not really sure of the call. Coach Crozier's going to get the indication, but down where I am, I don't know what he said other than put his hands up.
Well, I think, and I don't know.
Here it is again. Let's see if we can see anything.
I'm not sure about the interpretation on this, but it may be a PIAA on automatic tee if a player throws the ball directly to the ref. I don't know. But
that's his second technical, so he's gone, correct?
We're going to get an interpretation at one point on if that's an automatic tee, because I don't think there's any issue of attitude or anything like that. I'm just wondering at this point, is that an automatic tee, Todd, John? Is this an automatic tee for just the act of throwing the ball directly? You're supposed to leave the ball go, I believe.
Generally, if you touch the ball after a score, you get a warning. But he did toss it to him. There was reflection on his face, but I'm not sure he said anything.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting because with the hanging on the rim earlier, this definitely changes this outlook of this game, Mike.
Absolutely. Not to mention, if that is indeed the second technical, which it appears to be, that changes the dynamics of Friday night's game as well with Harrisburg.
He can't play Friday night.
Not two technicals, no. That's an ejection. That's an automatic one-game suspension.
Yeah, wow. And this is unfortunate because, hanging on the rim is questionable. You don't want to fall. I got to give him Devin strong benefit out there, and then you got a situation there where, and again, I'm really anxious to get an interpretation on that, and we're going to have this before the end of the game. If this is a discretionary call or if this is an automatic.
Steal by Anthony Wright. No good. And another turnover for the Rams.
Well, I'll tell you what. This CD Rams team demonstrated last year on High School Basketball Live that without Devin Thomas, that they could pull together, and they won this rivalry for the first time in I don't know how many meetings, countless meetings with CDEast. So don't go anywhere because this CD team.
To the hoop. Tony McGraw ties it at 40.
Now here's the senior leader, Nick Seafeld, at the point right now.
We're tied at 35 after 3, and after 2 minutes of play, we're tied at 40.
Charlie, when you talk about blast from the past, Fort Chapman said it. Sam Bowie was called for a double technical in a big game that made a difference. And it's another game out after this. Wow, what a change.
Esau, no good inside. Rams get the ball, and there's Beaver with a big basket.
Yeah, and, We talked about this prior to the game, how this CD team has a great supporting cast for Devin Thomas, and they're showing it right now because they have the lead.
Inside, quick hands by Tyler Naparella. First time we called his name tonight. Tips the ball away. To the hoop, strong. Laird, no good. Foul is going to go on Esau, who comes down on top of.
Some good sportsmanship there, Anthony Wright. Picking up CDEast, Anthony McGraw. Probably should ask him for his autograph. It's going to be in the NFL one day, Mike. Jesus, junior All-American in football already.
Well, that's a big foul as well because Esau now has 4 personals. And he's the one interior threat still on the floor here, really, for Central Dauphin.
Earlier in the game, we were talking about potential foul trouble, especially when Dudley picked up his 4th for East. Now all of a sudden things have turned around and it's Central Dauphin, the one that's being plagued by the fouls. As Cowan hits the first foul shot. It's a 1-point game again, 42-41.
I'm looking at CD's bench and I'm trying to think who in there can bang a little and some size, and Coach Crozier may have to pull a green shirt off for one of those guys and give him an opportunity.
Comes the fire whistle for Steve Tekow, the assistant coach.
Yeah, we got.
Tied at 42 as we approach the halfway point. Drive to the hoop, Seafeld, no good. Esau, tough rebound, puts it up strong, gets the foul.
Gentlemen, I want to tell you one thing about him. Does he look like he was on that football field? The intensity, the hustle. The guy is in great basketball shape right now.
Yeah, and I like his haircut more. I mean, the Mohawk is styling, bro. Styling, Mike.
Short on the first foul shot.
Well, you know, and the key to this half, we haven't talked about it, second half is 10 for 10 for CDEast from the foul line.
Esau makes the second. Rams back in front by 1 as we hit the 4-minute mark.
That's
foul on Esau, and that's 5 on him. Wow, so the Rams lose Thomas with 5:59 to go. They lose Esau with 4:03 to go.
John and Charlie, what happens with the Rams now is basically they go with almost 5 guards on the floor right now. That is a big difference.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, they're, wow.
Anthony Wright at the line, misses.
That's their first miss in 11 attempts. You know, I'm thinking, Mike Bullock, there's coaches all over the area right now watching this game, not envying the situation Jay Crozier's being put in here, losing his 2 studs around the basket in a big game that decides a placement here in the division.
Tied at 43.
Well, I think what they're going to have to rely on now is the fact that they did play for some time during the summer when Devin Thomas had some injury issues.
Yeah.
And Zaid obviously would have been tied up with football. So, you know.
Seafeld in and out.
It's not like they haven't been put in this position before.
Well, and Seafeld could have helped them out right there. Now, that would have went. That could have been a nice. There's McGraw.
Off balance. In and out again. Rossum, big rebound. Rams looking to run. Steal by McGraw.
You know what? This McGraw has come up with some big steals tonight.
I'm giving away my age, but I'm going to start calling him Quick Draw.
Quick Draw, McGraw, I'll tell you.
I can relate, John.
The old comic, Saturday morning comics, cartoons. Scott, no good. Follow underneath, good. Reggie Dudley, 4 fouls in all, gets a big basket to put the Panthers back in front.
Look for Ryan Beaver to assert himself. Brian Laird here.
Laird hits to tie us as 45.
It's a game on at the playground at this point. It's like, okay, we'll go 5 guards too, CD said, and these guys are stepping up to the challenge here and making some big shots at home.
Pass tipped away. And we're going to get a timeout. Wow. 2:24 to go. We are tied at 45. Folks, don't go anywhere. This is going to be a great finish here on ABC 27.
Advanced Tubes is the place for kids like me. Charlie Fortney teaches shooting, dribbling, passing, defense, and all kinds of fun games. The coaches are really cool. My favorite coach is Lenny, because he gives out candy if we did good. By the way, this is my dad, Charlie Fortney.
Back at courtside, folks, if you're just tuning in, you picked a great time to join us. 2:24 to go. CDEast tied at 45 fouls, the big story here. Devin Thomas, 2 technicals, he's done with 6 minutes to go. Zaid Esau for the Rams, fouled out with 4 minutes to go. So if the Rams are going to pull this one out, they're going to have to do it without the 2 big guys inside.
Todd, what's your thoughts on what's going on? I know you're peeking in at the bench over there. What's going on with the CD sideline?
Well, I tell you what, I was over on the east sideline. CD is talking about execution. I go on the other side, the east side, and Marty Hoffensfall said, let's get a set here. Let's get something good. And you know what? That's what 2 great coaches do, talk about execution.
Well, it's basically even right now. You got 5 guards on 5 guards right now.
One of the things you see, though, Charlie, when you go 5 guard, a couple of those guys are having to play out of position and play 3s and 4s.
Aaron Scott, no good, rebound by Laird. He was fouled.
That might be Dudley's 5th. East is getting a nice box out by Naparella. I don't know if we have a instant replay on this here. We may, but this was a big play. If there's a play of the game and CD goes on to win this box out that produces foul shots could be it.
And John and Charlie, you want to talk about developing benches, why you need 5 more guys to come off the bench. These situations find out some of the guys who might just be your reserve in practice now have to step up in a big game.
Naparella goes to the line, hits a big pressure foul shot. 1:52 to go to put his team up 1. Drains the second.
Wow, Tyler Naparella lived for this moment. You could tell. It's what every kid dreams in the playground.
If they hang on to win, we may have to give him the player of the game just for those 2 pressure foul shots.
Well, the play of the game might be it.
McGraw dishes. Cowan. Stolen Rams. Rams call timeout.
John, Charlie, had McGraw got a good pass from the penetration, I think he would have had an opportunity to step up and hit a shot. And what's it happened? A turnover, now CD Ball up 2 with the ball.
Boy, can't really ask for much more than this. Do I dare mention the letters OT? Remember what we went through a couple weeks ago with Cedar Cliff and Hershey. 1 OT wasn't enough. And we're set up for possibly another one here tonight. A 2-point game with 1:28 to go.
Hey, why not? Why not extend this game, Charlie? I mean, that's what High School Sports Live is all about. Overtime, getting crowds involved.
And speaking of High School Sports Live, if you like the basketball tonight, folks, tune in. We have a great wrestling match for you coming up tomorrow night. Central Dauphin Rams, the defending team state champs, going up against the Eagles of Cumberland Valley at Cumberland Valley. We will be on the air at 7 o'clock tomorrow night. George Hartwick and I with the action on ABC 27.3.
You know, and we're talking about who's to be player of the game. It's going to be hard if CD goes on to win this to award this to Thomas under the unfortunate circumstances. But Laird hit a 45-45 tying jumper when they needed a basket, made a key steal at a very important time. Just right in that last possession. He's been a steady hand running the point guard. So junior Brian Laird gets a lot of credit for steadying this team. And Nick Seafelt, the senior, has a chance to separate with a couple foul shots here.
Makes the first. So the Rams, without their two big guns inside, actually extend the lead now to 3 points.
This is exactly what the CD Rams showed when they were out for a whole game last year without Thomas. They showed a teamwork to pick up that slack, and now they're doing it for half a quarter.
49-45. CD leading East. Drive to the hoop, tough move. Cowan, no good. Rebound, Beaver saves it to Naparella. Fouled by Aris Scott, I believe. Yes, foul on Scott. His fourth. Both teams now in the double bonus the rest of the way.
Charlie, one of the things I noticed about this smaller CD group, they're very tenacious. The tenacity there, they have to really box out. They're not giving East any chances on the boards.
Well, and also what happens in these situations is you're all game long, East is focused on a game plan to stop a big guy, and that's where the ball's going, and all of a sudden you forget about all these guys that can play basketball, and then when Thomas isn't there, all of a sudden there's an underestimating of how good these other players are. Yes.
Panthers need a hoop. They need it big, and they need it quickly. Outside jumper, no good. Anthony Wright, nice pass inside to C.L. Johnson. Foul called on the baseline.
These are big foul shots here for C.L. Johnson. This can make it two shots here can make it a one-possession game.
Misses. He'll shoot another.
You know, Eddie Cowan, what a leader, going up to his seal on the foul line, just says, hey, buddy, relax and knock this next one down.
Knocks the second one down. So it's a 4-point game, 50-46 as we hit the 50-second mark. Ball loose on the floor. Beaver picks it up and the foul. So Ryan Beaver's going to go to the foul line. Fifth foul on Eddie Cowan. Good news for the Panthers is it stopped the clock. 46.1 left. Beaver nets it.
You know, those foul shots that Beaver are very important. It was 47-45 when Nick Seefeld stepped up on that line and knocked down a big one, a couple big ones.
Nets the second. 6-point game now. Time running out on the Panthers. They need a hoop, and they need it quickly. Aris Scott, three-pointer, good! Not over yet. Here's the replay of that. Aris Scott drains it from three-point land to make it a three-point game with 32 seconds left.
Man, I need to get a good night's sleep. This is, I tell you what, this has been a long night.
We need to switch to decaf.
Holy cow, Mike! Have you ever? Mike, have you?
Let's just bring the mat out and let's start right away. What do you say?
This is interesting. Have you guys ever seen anything so dramatic as like two technicals kicked out of the game for technical reasons, and then all of a sudden CDEast all fouls out. You have no forwards to sub in, and all of a sudden
then you start to pull away.
Then you just pull away, and it's almost like the same calming patience that East had all game long. As soon as that happened, that fell on the very players of CD. Yeah. Our big guns.
You know, and that sort of thing, and play to beat a good team on the other side.
Oh, and they call a foul on Anthony Wright. Oh, no, they call timeout. Seefeld was trapped on the baseline. Anthony Wright stole it and laid it in, but the officials say that Jay Crozier called timeout.
And Charlie, that's exactly what I thought we might see.
Wow.
A big trap. They went with their bigger guards, trapping Seafold, the smaller guard, and they got exactly what they wanted, but a great timeout at a crucial time as what was called.
Wow, clean steal by Wright.
Oh, wow.
That could have been big.
Marty Hassenfuss lost about 2 years of his life arguing about that, and I don't think any coach sitting at home would blame, because that's such a touchy one, but it's just a tough play overall, and but you know, East still one possession away. Player of the game is going to come down to 28.2 seconds left.
Whoever
guys.
has the ball last
yeah.
wins the game and player of the game.
East full out, face guarding. Anthony Wright on the ball, using his wingspan to make it tough on the inbounds.
Gets it into Laird. Hacked by Wright. East fans upset with that, but I don't think there was much doubt on that one. Here's the replay one more time. The reach around, just hack the arm.
Oh, yeah, yep. No doubt on that one.
Brian Laird goes to the line, 26.2 left. His team up 3. His team up 4. Foul shots coming into play.
CD's made 15 for 22, but the 15 have been at good times, I'll tell you.
Laird makes 2. 5-point game, 54-49, 26 seconds left. Eris Scott, 3-point jumper, no good. Johnson rebound, spin move inside, blocked by Rossum. Johnson stays with it, up and in. Timeout called. 3-point game, 54-51. The replay, credit Johnson with persistence on this. He stayed with it. Had it blocked, gets it back,
wow.
Puts it back up and in.
Wow, this is like a ping pong match going on around the basket here. Tenacity, East. Tell you what, East is not going nowhere. There's 11.6 seconds to go. A steal, a bucket. I mean, Todd, anything can happen.
Yeah, Charlie, one of the things that I would look at in the timeout, right now coming out if I'm East, I would probably take the man off the ball and try to deny any single pass in and get a 5 call. That's how you get the ball back here. And maybe if you had a set to go to right away, hit that 3.
Todd, you might be psychic, because I see Anthony Wright standing at that foul line nowhere near the inbounder, so let's see what happens.
No, there he goes.
Maybe a quick trap.
Here we go, 11 seconds to go. Inbound to Beaver. Quick foul by Wright.
Well, and Ryan is great at the foul line, so this is CD's in a great position here at 9.9 seconds.
Charlie, one of the great things about where we are now and not on the floor is we have a lot of time to think about it.
We sit and analyze. We don't have to make the decisions. Big foul shot by Ryan Beaver makes it a 2-possession game. A tick under 10 seconds remain. Makes the second. 5-point game. Scott, 3-pointer, short.
You know,
that's going to do it.
Guys, we got to be quick on this one because it came down to the wire, but 9 points in the fourth quarter, 12 for the game. Ryan Beaver did it when it counted. He had some help, but he's my vote for player of the game. What do you think, Mike Bullock?
I have to agree in that sense. He's had 6 of those points since Devin Thomas was sent off. You know, clutch at the foul line, the big shot, you know, to break a 40-all tie there with just under 5 minutes to go. I mean, he's come up big when they've needed, you know, that other guy, that new hero, that, you know, unsung type player to step into the limelight.
And he's that second leading scorer this year for CD as well to provide that. John, your thoughts?
Yeah, I'll go with that, but let's also give some mention to the guy who's going to the foul line now, Tyler Naparella.
Oh, yes.
Guy who comes off the bench, doesn't get very many minutes. Mike, you mentioned about Beaver breaking the 40 all-tie. Naparella's 2 foul shots broke the 45 all-tie.
Yeah.
So that put the Rams in front, and they have not relinquished the lead since. Yeah. So that was huge.
And to give credit where it's due, I was real close to pulling the trigger on Brian Laird because of his steady hand at the point, his jump shot that made it 45-45 right at a time when Devin Thomas was out, and you were wondering if CD had points from other places at the time. So, and a couple key steals. So I'd say Brian Laird a close second, and Ryan Beaver, hats off for stepping up 9 points in the fourth quarter, which is a separating factor.
Well, here's another interesting fact, too. Tyler Naparella was at Anvil Cleona last year, was the 6th man on a team that went to the state tournament. So, wow. If he's thrust into that starting role on Friday night, this is a guy who has had some experience in some important games.
Well, that's the final. Central Dauphin comes from behind to knock off Central Dauphin East. Final was 57-51.
When my dad opened Hoffman Ford in 1953, this was the model that you could drive out of the showroom.
In the past 59 years, yes, things have changed, but one thing still remains the same. There's always been a Ford and a Hoffman in our showroom.
Through 3 generations, the Hoffman Ford family has believed in always treating their customers with the courtesy and respect that they deserve.
Passed on from our grandfather to our father and now to us. We believe these values will bring another 59 years of success. Bigger selection, better deals, Hoffman Ford.
There's something to be said for a company that has survived the Great Depression, weathered a handful of recessions, and emerged from today's challenging marketplace stronger than ever. And it's worth noting that success has come while keeping its headquarters and decision-making local for more than 80 years. Perhaps growing deeper roots to ensure strength and stability is an idea whose time has come. We figured that out 8 decades ago. Penn National Insurance.
Each spring and fall, Advanced Hoops invites college coaches from all over the East Coast to showcase Central Pennsylvania's standout high school ballers, like Lower Dolphins' Cody Deal, Matt Banis of Hershey, David Craig from Cumberland Valley, Skylar Roman from Chambersburg, and many more. Representatives from several highly respected universities, well known as much for their academics as they are for their basketball programs, make it a priority to visit the Advanced Hoops gym to catch a glimpse of the best and the brightest players of the upcoming years. High school coaches like Hershey's Paul Blackburn recognize the benefits these programs provide for their players.
Charlie's always had an open door policy for a lot of people. Charlie's promoted Central PA hoops for the boys and the girls for a lot of years now, so he's done a lot of good things.
Advanced Hoops has placed over 50 players in college uniforms. Who will be next?
I'm here with Coach Crozier and Ryan Hoffman, the player, Hoffman Ford player of the game. Right. Coach, your team really Ryan, your team really, they stepped up. You hit some free throws. Beav had 9 points down the stretch when you needed him. Talk a little bit about this game and the emotions involved.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you play East High here at our place, the emotions run high. They played very well, shot the ball well, they compete. They've come a long way. They're going to be a very good team. Ryan has been the most consistent player we've had through 8 games. And, again, I didn't have any doubt tonight that he'd be the guy that would step up there at the end. So,
one last question so we can get you to the bench, Coach. You had to go with a smaller lineup. You had 4 guards at some point. But you know what? You talked execution, and I thought when they needed to, they executed.
Yeah, we finally did after turning the ball over so many times. Unforced errors. We got to cut out on those. So, big one on Friday for us.
Well, we know it's a big one, Coach. We're going to let you get back to your locker room.
Thank you.
Ryan Beaver, player, Hoffman Ford player of the game. Ryan, I got to say right away, the first thing you did, 9 points when you needed them. You had some big shots, but you stepped up and hit your free throws. Talk about your play tonight.
I wasn't really making my shots early in the game, but I just kept confident. I knew I was going to make them down the stretch. Hit some clutch free throws at the end. So, we came out with the win. It was tough, but.
Ryan, you go into a big one Friday night. You're possibly looking without playing with Devin Thomas with those 2 technicals. Talk a little bit about your preparation one day and then a big game.
You know, I mean, we're just going to come out with the same mentality, keep pinching in on the guards and make them force them to shoot outside shots, and then just crash the boards and get rebounds because we got to be strong, missing the best rebounder in the league. So, you know, it'll be tough for us, but I think we can get it done.
You know, Ryan Beaver's talking a little bit about stepping up. It may be tough, but they still got to do things. That's the way it is in this division. More ABC post-game, ABC 27 High School Sports Live. Central Dauphin comes away with a 56-51 victory over rival CDEast. More post-game after these messages.
Borman & Babb Certified Public Accountants is a full-service accounting, tax, and consulting firm with over 17 years' experience serving the central Pennsylvania region. From taxes to payroll, from corporate accounting to business consulting, let Borman & Babb help you achieve your financial success.
Knoll Insurance, located at 704 Bridge Street in New Cumberland. They offer property, casualty, auto, homeowners, health, and life insurance. Knoll Insurance also offers notary services. Call Knoll Insurance today at 774-8128.
Got old electronics, such as a TV or computer to recycle? We've got your answer at the Dauphin County Recycling Center.
E-cycling is quick, easy, and free for all county residents.
You can also recycle old major appliances and other items safely at our center.
Have questions? Call our helpful staff at the Recycling Center or check our website for more information.
Recycling is now more convenient than ever.
Join us in going green to protect our environment.
Keep our earth clean and green. Wipe out waste and recycle.
For generations, Caterpillar has delivered innovative products that help customers build strong, profitable businesses. And for more than 60 years, Cleveland Brothers Equipment Company has been Pennsylvania's source for first-class Caterpillar equipment, service, parts, and rentals. With 26 locations across Pennsylvania, we've grown right alongside our customers, delivering on our commitment to provide a superior experience and maximum value. Cleveland Brothers Equipment Company, helping Pennsylvania prosper since 1948.
Having been to Arlington Orthopedics several times over the past roughly 15 years, I have found them to be very caring.
For 15 or 20 years, I've dealt with sciatic nerve pain down both legs. Kind of figured I was going to have that all my life.
Because of crippling arthritis, I no longer could hold on to things.
We went through this disc fusion surgery. It's just changed my whole life.
The pain is virtually gone, and he fully expects me to return to 100%.
When my dad opened Hoffman Ford in 1953, this was the model that you could drive out of the showroom.
In the past 59 years, yes, things have changed, but one thing still remains the same. There's always been a Ford and a Hoffman in our showroom.
Through 3 generations, the Hoffman Ford family has believed in always treating their customers with the courtesy and respect that they deserve.
Passed on from our grandfather to our father and now to us, we believe these values will bring another 59 years of success. Bigger selection, better deals, Hoffman Ford.
John Reppes along with Charlie Fortney and Todd McCall back at Central Dauphin, where, what a game. Central Dauphin somehow pulls out a win over CDEast by a final of 57-51. Gentlemen, I think I'm going to go home and in my dictionary, I'm going to change something. I'm going to look up the term step up. I'm going to put a team picture of Central Dauphin because you take the 2 big guys out of the lineup. Everybody else stepped up tonight. That is the definition of coming through in the clutch.
John, I mean, you said it, stepping up. A big game, Commonwealth Division, staying pace with Harrisburg, and that's what they did tonight. Ryan Beaver, 9 points when you need him, hitting free throws, and you were impressed by the guard play.
Oh, definitely the steady hand of Brian Laird. But let's talk about the coaches. Marty Hassenfuss has done a great job preparing CDEast to be in a position to win these games. They're going to win some of these as the season goes on, and they're going to find a way to win. But, Coach Crozier, what happened in that timeout to get that team to still believe in themselves when they lost not only 1 but 2 big guys around the basket? And these players can play for CD, and we talked about that before the game. This is a great supporting cast, and I even think if Devin Thomas could vote for player of the game, he would have voted for some of his teammates as well. I'm sure he was appreciative because that was a tough situation. The 2 technicals, they were technical type technicals on hanging on the rim and pitching the ball to not a kid, but the ref, and I'm sure he wished he could do that one over again. But the hanging on the rim was pretty. That was kind of, I could have went either way. But CD, Harrisburg, Friday night. That's going to be interesting. And I think Coach Smallwood and his staff tonight realized that they got to come prepared to play this CD team that's going to be on the floor.
We mentioned about stepping up for Central Dauphin, elation in their locker room. Consequently, during the game we were talking about how close East has been all season long. Again, they're in a game, they have a chance to win it, and come up a little bit short.
Well, sometimes you need a break. You know, everybody talks about, oh no, hard work. And no, you need a break. A situation where they had a press, they got a ball, I thought they had a steal. Looks like an opportunity to put it on the glass. There was a timeout call. I mean, and I'm careful when I say this from a coaching perspective. I would have liked to seen the kids have an opportunity there at the end to maybe win that game. And I'm not saying anything wrong, please. I'm not going to get into that. But the point was, I think Coach Hasenfuss and his team walks away and says, man, maybe should have, could have.
Yeah. Well, that was an unbelievable game. Central Dauphin wins it 57-51. Earlier tonight, in case you missed it, the Central Dauphin girls knocked off CDEast by a score of 36-30. So a great night for the Central Dauphin Rams and their intra-district rivals against the Central Dauphin East Panthers. So thanks for joining us here on ABC 27. A reminder, coming up tomorrow night, we will have wrestling for you. The Central Dauphin Rams travel to Cumberland Valley to take on the Eagles. So for Charlie Fortney, Todd McCall, and the rest of our Invicta crew, who did a great job with the replays tonight and covering this game from start to finish and multiple angles on the replays and everything. Great job, guys, out in the truck. Thanks for all your work. Again, Central Dauphin over CDEast 57-51. And now to wrap things up, good night from Central Dauphin. And now we're going to send it to a feature. As we said, the Rams stepped up and put the team on their shoulders to carry the team to victory. We're going to have a feature on shoulder injuries with Dr. Ackerman from Arlington Orthopedic.